thank you all for coming. And, look down here real quick. Is there any, agenda additions or deletions? I think, Katie, you want to speak to the, oh, you added it already. I'm sorry, I didn't even see that. It's been one of those days. Is there any agenda?
Are you talking about the Stafford Cemetery?
Yeah.
Okay, that wasn't added to the agenda. This is the East Clarendon one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to do both.
I make comment about it.
Which one?
The East Clarendon Cemetery, I think my comment is like we do not have anything. Oh, it's already on here.
Yeah.
So we're all set.
Yeah. But I'm talking about the Stafford Cemetery. Some stuff came up.
Right. We want to add that to the agenda.
So, yeah, considering it's old business, I'll make a motion that we add it under old business.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Because this has been a numerous...
Yeah, it has.
It's been before us numerous times.
All right, there's been a motion made, seconded. All in favor? Aye.
Alright.
Anyone opposed? Okay, I'd ask for a motion with regard to the regular meeting of April 12th minutes.
So moved as presented.
Is there a
I'll
second?
second that.
Is there any, conversation around that motion? All right, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, highway. You have, give us a report.
I got a brief report. Katie and I have been working with Stephanie, Planning Commission, about the grant that we received, and it's decided we're going to do the work for the grant on East Clarendon Road, or East Street. A big culvert replacement and stone line some of the ditches and clean them. And also on East 10th Road on the north end of stone line and ditches.
Down the hill like?
Going down the hill for water quality. And in the budget, that'll cover the grant, which is $14,000 with a match of
Around 3.
about $3,000 is on town share, so it'll be a $17,000 project. We'll cover that grant.
And, sorry, I was in the midst of reading this, but which road are you talking?
East Street, actually it's just right at the intersection of Sunny Hill Development.
Oh, okay, so
the
down
road.
on this end.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yep,
Down in the flat there's a big culvert
Yep.
that is undersized and it needs to be extended, and plus it's starting to rot out.
okay, yep.
That lets out down towards where that, road we had some issues with, right? Where you guys used to make the U-turns
Up on
around.
Brenda Lane.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's lower than that. Yep. That's about all. We've been grading the roads and trying to get them up to par. The first grade, people need to understand, it's actually, I don't want to say a rough grade, but that first time through is not really smooth. And actually today the grader was on South Creek Road for the second time, and that's smoothed up pretty well.
yeah.
We just got a 3,500 gallons of magnesium chloride for dust control, and we just applied that to that road, and that'll help bind up the road, so hopefully it'll not potholes quick and be easier maintenance, less expensive in the long run.
Hey, to that email that you sent us, just this afternoon,
Yeah.
you bring that up, did you see that email?
Oh, which one?
Windy Lane.
Where the lane?
Yes,
is
I did. Yep.
getting-
Yep. And I just actually, Katie dropped me up of the Bob that inquired about it.
Yep.
And that's something, I don't know, us as a select board ought to discuss. That's a high priority road too, with
Yeah,
high maintenance, and every time you add gravel, we're lifting the road. Actually, I'd like to cut that road down some on that upper flat, and possibly, I hate to do it, but it'd be cheaper in the long run probably to pave it down the road. Not right away, but
yeah.
You're saying put it on the list for.
put it on the list for the future, yeah.
So if you go out and check it out and get some ideas and writing and stuff, can you report back maybe next meeting?
Yeah, I'll have it set up for budgets for
Oh,
this November.
all right, but I mean, let us know at the next meeting kind of what.
I'll have a conversation with Bob.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
do you want me to respond to the email or do you want to talk to him directly?
We can do it either way. Yeah, actually, if he'd like to, give him my number and he can call me and we can
Okay.
discuss it and stuff. And I actually, if I could find out exactly which house he's in. Because I've had other conversations with a couple of property owners up there in the past.
Okay.
anything else, guys?
That's about it.
Okay, do you guys have any questions for the road commissioner? Alrighty. Alright, the warrants are floating and drifting,
At some point, I gotta have them down
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
that's all.
so if you wanna check and see how we're spending all your tax dollars. Alright, guests. You guys guests tonight?
I'm here about the Stafford.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So the first one is.
Oh,
This is East Clarendon.
Alright,
So this was, Mikey had gotten a call from this lady and she had asked to be put on the agenda. But obviously she didn't come. And she had issues contacting Cecil about,
remember we had that,
Yeah, so this one's one that is tough for us because we don't hold any jurisdiction over East Clarendon Cemetery. My wife and I were actually talking about this before I left because she, I guess, took a phone call from this lady as well. So the tough part is we have no, because it's not a town cemetery and it's a private association run cemetery, unlike Spafford. Spafford's a town cemetery, so we've got two different types of cemeteries going on. I think about the only thing we can do in this case, if we want to do anything, is simply send a letter to the East Clarendon Cemetery Association just saying the town was made aware of this issue and we do hope that you'll resolve it. And just it's that simple because the reality is we hold no jurisdiction. We
Right.
can't go over there and say this is the issue, you got to deal with it, but we can encourage. So we
Right.
could send a letter. I guess in the midst of all the conversation, it did come out that the association has not met due to COVID in over a year. Is that what I heard?
well,
Peggy said she wasn't even sure who was on the association
right,
or how to contact them.
well, we did contact,
I talked
we sat right here, we
with Cecil,
talked to
Okay.
Cecil.
and I tried to get them two together again.
Okay.
And
I
then-
mean, I don't see, the harm in us sending a letter just saying the town was made aware
Right.
of this issue and we would request that
You
the
respond to
the
this.
needs of Beverly
right.
be addressed by the association as they, because from what we're hearing and what I saw, she feels, at least at the first level, her needs are not being met. So it sounds to me like, I mean, most organizations, and I would hope that one is like any of them,
You wanna make
there's
a
a
motion
there's
for
a
that?
chain of command. So
Wanna make a motion that we authorize,
I'll make a motion that we authorize Katie to send a letter to the East Clarendon Cemetery Association
Association.
members.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to take some work to find out who they are.
Cecil must have a list of them, though.
I would say that you're probably going to have to request from them who their association members are, which is going to be a process in and of itself too. But I'll make a motion that you send a letter to the association, requesting that they please address the issues of, I'm going to butcher the last name, but Beverly.
right,
I'll just say it that way.
Mailhiot, I think.
Yep.
And that's why I thought it should be, as long as she came to the town, be on the agenda, just so that.
Yeah,
You
I mean-
recognize that we.
Right.
The reality is it came to us, so we
Yeah.
can pass it along. It's
Right.
just that we can't
We have no control.
do anything about it, unfortunately. So
Yep.
You want to second that motion?
I'll second that.
All right, is there any further discussion? My only question would be, will we copy a letter to
Beverly?
Beverly as well?
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I'll add that. That's fine.
Yep,
Okay.
I'll
Just
add
like
that too.
let her know.
Just
Yeah.
let her know that it was sent.
All right, so all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Doesn't sound like it. Public comments, anything? Okay. Old business, appoint John Colvin to the ZBA.
I know it was posted plenty of times, so I'll just make the motion that we appoint John Colvin to the ZBA.
Yeah, so he was fine with being appointed if no one filled the position.
Right.
And Bronson valued him as a member, so I called him and he said he was fine with it.
I'll second that.
All right,
And his term will be a 2-year term.
right.
Okay.
All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Now we can talk about the Stafford Cemetery. You guys wanna,
Well, I mean, I know what the issue is. I've had another townsperson approach, and I guess the big question for us is, are we gonna go down this legal road again?
I think we should.
So,
Just the background, I have no recollection of anything that's happened in the past.
If you would,
yeah, we can give
I'm
you our
going to
notes.
give you, this is a summation of what we had done since 2006. And you can look that over.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we contact the town attorney and authorize him to enter into, I don't know what we want to call it, enter into action to,
Or discussion at
or
least.
discussion to see that our right-of-way to the Stafford Cemetery be cleaned up and put back to an acceptable manner or state.
All right, is there a second for discussion?
I'll second that for discussion, and discussion to end this afterwards, if we can get our right of way where it's supposed to be. My suggestion is some kind of a fence up through there as a boundary
Yep, on the east side.
on the east side.
Yeah.
The question is what the rules are as far as right of way go. I mean, so this whole situation that you read about was wrapping up when I came on the board. You were
Right.
just closing the file when I came on.
Now, prior to that, if you really do some research, when that cemetery was officially open, that was a deeded right-of-way to the town.
Okay.
And I can't remember the dates of it, but when we were looking up a lot of this information, there's a folder too that we have to make available to legal folks, and Katie has that.
Okay, so here's a second question then, and this would be a question for Bill, which we can either make a motion or just have Katie have it in her notes when she contacts him. That deeded right away in the language, is it ours to maintain?
I don't know.
Because if it's ours to maintain, the loader can go up there tomorrow.
Yeah,
Right? I mean,
Right.
no,
Oh,
I'm
yes.
serious.
Yes.
If in our documents
Right.
and in the deed it states that it's a town right of way and to be town maintained,
it was a.
we can
ri-
fix it tomorrow.
It was a right-of-way deeded to the Spafford folks who created the cemetery. Later on, when that
Okay.
cemetery then became in,
Town.
I wanna say, late 20s, early 30s,
When it was turned over, yeah.
that was turned over to the town, then the town accepted that as a town cemetery with a given right-of-way. I
Okay.
think that's the term they used.
Okay.
The second time was not deeded, I can't remember. You can keep that if you want.
I mean, the reality is, you and I both know, just because I was privy to the end of it 9 years ago, or however long it's been, too long. It got ugly in a hurry. and this could get ugly in a hurry again.
It's going to be.
And it's more than likely going to.
Yeah.
But at this point, you know, the pictures, I could not open the Dropbox file, but the pictures that another resident showed up at my house with the other day, it was a snake. You had to go around piles all the way up through,
Right.
and they were doubtful that the mowing crew, which I see are out here working out here today, they were doubtful that a trailer could even get put up in there
That's right.
anymore.
And the thing is that even when before all that mess got there, even with the right of way that was established there, we were still turning around on part of his property.
Okay.
However, since then,
Yeah, it hasn't changed much since
no.
what I saw the other day.
Katie and I went up to there this afternoon, and he filled that big hole.
Yeah.
He tore down, it looks to me like he tore down the deck around the swimming pool, built a new deck, and he put all that lumber
Okay. Yeah.
in that hole. And my suggestion is, while we're in the process of contacting Bill and stuff, is that we have Jeff Biazuzzi go up there, and he could possibly, because he's the zoning administrator, and he could possibly contact somebody from the state to go see what kind of debris is in that hole.
I mean, so the question, I know we're jumping here quick, but the question is, to a certain extent, it's probably in our court to determine how ugly we turn this and how quickly we turn it ugly. Is it going to serve any purpose? I have my feelings, but I'll ask you. Is it going to serve any purpose to simply send a letter to the landowner first to say, as a call it a shot across the bow, so to speak? Is there any purpose that that's going to serve at this point? I have my personal feelings, but
Well,
At least we do this, it'd be stepping in order. If
Well,
we did that.
if we send him a letter, we author a letter, and stating very clearly that we have worked through this process, you promised you were going to do, if you read any of that, you understand, you promised that you were going to move the established right-of-way closer and deed some property to the town. And
I
we
mean-
were going to use our vehicles to bring up product for the right-of-way, for the driveway.
correct. As far as I'm concerned, that ship sailed a
Yeah, I
long
know.
time ago. I was only here for the very end of it, but
Yeah.
I'm not going down that road again. We found out what that got us last time. So the reality is, what we're looking for, and I think what the townspeople are looking for, is the town right-of-way must be maintained and must not be infringed, which right now it's very clearly infringed upon. So that's where I'm saying, if we want to, Katie can contact Bill
That's
to
what,
start,
that's what
but we can also, and I'll make it a motion to have her author a letter directly to Gene Stone stating that the town requests that within 15 days of receipt of the letter, that the town right-of-way be
Free.
put back and free of obstruction, or the town may be forced to take further legal action.
sounds good.
With a registered letter.
And registered letter.
Okay,
It
so-
seems like it wouldn't make sense that he has to maintain the right of way. Like it would be the town's
Well, the problem is he put all the stuff there.
right.
So
And I
that's,
don't know, there was a boat there too, and I don't know if he buried that with the big piles of sand. Well, you know, you
Yeah.
were up there today.
but that'll start the process, because that way you can get Bill on notice, and the letter's only going to take 2 or 3 days to get there, so it'll be there probably by Thursday at the latest. So call it 15 days from Friday. If there's no action, we take it. That'll be our next meeting probably.
Yeah.
And if there's no action by the next meeting, we put Bill on it. And at that point, whatever we have to do to get it done, we get it done.
Now, do you remember the last meeting we had, when Stoney came in, plus
I
his
do.
family, and they absolutely said for the record that he has no right to, sign off on anything for them. In other words, he was saying, my family this, my family that, but then when they came in,
That's before me.
oh,
It's gotta be right before I came on.
The only one I've seen is Gene here,
Gene came down
I've
again
been
and
on
tried,
this
And-
was in.
and that's not in this, on this paper.
correct, but that was since you were on the board. This came up again. And he came down and tried to get it going again, that he was gonna make a donation to land and all this and that, and was gonna try and get the whole thing rolling again, and it went nowhere because none of us
No, because
were
he
willing
wanted
to
six-
open that again.
He wanted $65,000.
Well, yeah, and he wanted money. Yeah. Yep. Which, if I didn't know better, that's probably somehow connected here and will come out in the next few weeks, is my prediction. But at least I think we have to start the process to get and if we find out, I would love to have, what Bill could research in the next 15 days is find out if that's our right of way to maintain. Because if it is, all we gotta do is have the sheriff go up there and sit while you work.
Yeah.
I mean, that's simple.
But in the same token, though, to do that, even if we moved it over where he suggested by that stone wall,
Well, I'm just talking about pushing the piles out of the way.
but if we push the piles out of the way, I don't want the town to be blamed for filling in where he dumped all that.
Either he removes
Oh.
the piles or the town removes them. Plain and simple.
I mean, that's why I say if it's ours to maintain,
Where he dug those holes and stuff, that is clearly his
that's on
property.
his side though. I'm talking about the piles that have
Along the
infringed
stone wall,
along
yeah.
both
Stone wall back
sides
to the
up through.
church.
I'm not saying push anything over top of that pile of junk and all that. I mean, we're not talking about that, but I'm talking about just to get the road back opened up.
Straight
Straightened back
And
out and
We need
opened
to
up.
figure out what the footage is. The
30
width.
feet.
I was gonna say a
30?
standard,
Yeah,
standard probably.
it was 30 foot.
Okay.
And it was like 18 feet away from the stone wall. But then if you read that, you'll see
I
where,
haven't had a chance to read
yeah,
it.
but you'll see where we, in a conversation with him in a meeting, said that, okay, you can move that over closer to to the wall,
Right.
as long as you put in a new fence up at the end. So he set 2 fence posts up there, which are still there, nothing on them. And then he claimed that, on his property, there's 2 graves that are illegal. But do you make a copy of that picture too, of the headstones?
Yeah.
That's,
I've been up there and I know where the posts are.
I know where
Right.
those
I was
are.
wondering what the posts are there for.
but those, the one of them anyway, have the same last name as his wife, so I think must be a relative. So, if he puts that on his
He
own,
admitted that to last time he was here. So was that a motion or Robert?
Well, so there's 2 motions
Yeah.
about,
We voted on the first one, didn't we, or did we
No.
not? We didn't.
no,
Okay.
because we got into.
that was about contacting the town attorney
Okay.
to enter into discussion, and then the second one is to write a letter to Jean. So, just so I know what to do, should we contact Bill first before writing the letter? Or,
Well, let's rescind the first motion and act on the Gene Stone motion first. The letter to him. So I'll rescind my first motion,
Okay,
and then I'll request a vote on the second one.
you wanna read the second one again?
yeah. So, Robert motioned to author a letter to Jean Stone that the town requests that within 15 days of receipt of the letter, that the obstructions be removed from the town's right of way before we take further legal action.
Yep.
Okay.
I
Everybody
second that.
understands that? So
Yep.
the motion made, you seconded.
Right.
All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Now, do you wanna follow up?
Now I'll make a motion that Katie contact the town attorney and that he be requested to research who is responsible for the maintenance on the Stafford Cemetery right away. That's my first step, because we can take further action next meeting if we have to.
Right.
But that's our first step.
Reminding him that that is a town cemetery.
Yep. Yep.
And we'll send him that brief that Janet wrote up, that'll save him some time going
You-
through.
Good
I'll
with that?
second that, yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So be it. Do you have any other,
No, just thank you.
okay, so,
It's a process,
yeah. And we'll see where it goes.
and we've dealt with this before.
Best,
Yeah.
best we
Yeah,
can
this
do.
is a multi-year issue.
Well, it's my family cemetery. You know, my great grandparents are buried there. I've been going there since, for as long as I can remember. There's never been any issues. So, and I've seen over the years the exterior disintegrate and kept my mouth shut. But when you start intimidating me, whether it was intentional or not, that's when the line's drawn.
Right.
So was there an actual interaction that you had that was intimidating?
He followed me in my vehicle on Friday.
Okay.
When I was visiting, it was like 3:15 in the afternoon,
Okay.
broad daylight. He pulled out of his driveway because I drive a Honda Civic. I can't get up that road. So I parked at the bottom, on the cemetery driveway.
Yeah.
And as I was walking down, I saw him leave and, waved, and then he turned around and waited for me to pull out and followed me down North Shrewsbury Road, down Alphresia.
You have to understand, though, the caveat here is, we have had different police stopping here, kids smoking marijuana and stuff.
Oh,
So I don't know that maybe he thought that,
that's
so that's
fair
a
enough.
sticky issue.
Okay.
So, but just to,
That's good to know. I don't
Yeah.
know why people would be smoking marijuana at the cemetery, but
that's in the past.
That's been another common theme
oh,
that we've had, so.
Are you Alicia?
I am.
Okay, I just want it for the record. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But we will do the best we can.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right?
We appreciate your path you're taking.
Do the best
Absolutely.
we can.
Like I
It's,
said, it's a process.
yeah,
Seems like it.
we do live in Vermont, All right, thank you. New business, we have a letter of resignation from Joan Bixby. It's brief, I can read it real quick if I can get it out of the envelope. To the Clarendon Select Board, letter of resignation. Due to health problems, I find I must resign from the cemetery's fact-finding committee. Joan H. Bixby. I would suggest that when you get a chance, talk with Heidi and see if we can't, you guys write up a little letter there and we'll send it to her. Is that okay with you guys?
Of appreciation. for the
Appreciation.
time
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll second that if Cash is making an motion.
All in favor?
All right.
Alright.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Town officers report. You have anything first, Katie?
Well, go ahead.
Katie. So we did get a new phone system here, and it had a little bit of an issue with the fire panel, but we got it figured out, and we have one primary line connected to the fire panel now, not a primary and a secondary. I checked with Matt to make sure that was okay, and he said it is. Royal said if it's fine with Matt and the fire marshals, then they're fine with it.
So we dial in 775-4274?
For the
Or
for
the-
here, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's numbers given out, and then you just pick one.
So as long as we're compliant,
Yeah.
it's fine. Okay. Yep. That's good.
Anything else, Katie?
Oh no, that's it.
Do you have any concerns, Cash?
No, just, speedy recovery for Bob Bixby,
Yeah,
health-wise.
yeah.
Yep.
That's my thinking as well.
Absolutely.
Do you have anything?
I don't think so. I appreciate Cash talking about grading. I know some of the roads were certainly in desperate need of it, so it's good to hear that the grader's moving. And I was going to ask you in a meeting, have we noticed any change? And I know this is probably something Bob would answer if he was here. Since our truck route signs have gone up, have we seen any improvement? Do you know? As far
I haven't been over there on Gorge Road to actually see. I actually had quite a conversation with the FedEx drivers from New Hampshire,
okay.
and he was devastated that he was under 3 ton. And I asked him, I said, let's go to Carreras and get weighed up. He goes, I'll use bump road from now on.
But I'm also thinking like log trucks on Moulton Avenue with the signs on this end now. Do we know if there's been any improvement from the
I
mill?
haven't seen anything myself,
Okay.
and Bob would be the one.
Bob would be the
I
one
said,
to-
the one
cer-
to ask.
Next time he's here, we'll have to ask
The
him.
issues are, I think, with Moulton Avenue is those motorcycles.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
And
still...
through the whole town, even up by our place in Middle Road.
Okay. Nope, I don't have anything else.
All right.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second it.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
All right.
Right.
Aye.